Hello, how are you? It's Michelle. Welcome to my channel. Let's talk about it. I hope your day is going well. Mine is almost finished. But of course, I could not leave without saying hello. So, without much ado, today's quote is from one of my favorite motivational speakers, Les Brown. Life has no limitations except the ones you make. Hello to my friend who is watching, and of course to the others who come along later. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Um, so, you know how we tend to impose limitations on ourselves. You know, we slow ourselves down. We do this subconsciously by waiting for perfection and letting that be the reason why we haven't done something. You know, what we don't realize is that subconsciously we are imposing limitations on our own progress. It's time we stop doing that. And funny enough, today, well, not today, yesterday, I came across a very interesting book. Um, I don't know if you guys are aware of it, but the laws of attraction. Um, there are 12 spiritual laws of the universe. And I don't make the rules, but the laws say what they do. And it's taken me a little while to get to the point of acceptance where this is concerned. I'm going to go through the 12 laws. I'm going to leave them also in the description below. And I'm also going to leave a link where I did a little research and I found a book. It's a free book where you can just put your email in, get all the information about the 12 secret laws of the universe. So the first law is the law of divine oneness. It's the foundational law, which everything in our universe is interconnected. In other words, your choice, your word, your desire, your belief, everything will have an impact on the world and those around you. We are, you know, that song or that cliche, no man is an island. Well, basically, that's what it is, the law of divine oneness. Then you have the law of vibration. According to this law, every particle in the universe is in constant movement and constantly carries energy. It applies to the big parts of the universe, the planets, the stars, and it applies to something as simple as the chair I'm sitting on or the computer that I'm using. Everything has its own specific energy frequency. Then there's the law of correspondence. Now, this is related to the first law, the law of divine oneness. The main idea here is that patterns repeat throughout the universe, and that prominent patterns can also be found repeating on a smaller scale. Then there is a law of attraction. We hear that phrase oh so often. Basically, the law of attraction tells us that like attracts like. So, in a nutshell, in order to have the things you desire in life, you have to work out how to vibrate on the same energetic frequency as those things. And a tip here to get to that point brings us into the sphere of gratitude. Gratitude operates at a very high frequency. Then we have the law of inspired action. Now, the law of attraction and the law of inspired action, they are kind of bound together. It also has a connection with the visualization of goals and, of course, gratitude and the attitude to make it all come together. In a nutshell, you have to be willing to take inspired steps towards getting the things that you want. Then there's the law of perpetual transmutation of energy. The law of perpetual transmutation of energy states that everything around us is in constant flux. You can't see all the changes because most of them exist on the cellular or the atomic level, but they still happen nonetheless. Then there's the law of cause and effect. I'm reading a book about this, and it's deep, and I have to read the whole subject a little bit more because it's a little, for me, maybe I'm just not evolved at that point to fully get it, but it's interesting. It's one of the most straightforward laws of the universe. The law of cause and effect tells us that all actions have a corresponding reaction. Then there is the law of compensation. According to the law of compensation, you will receive what you put out. It's similar to the law of attraction, but with more focus on the idea that compensation can come in many forms. Then there's the law of relativity. The law of relativity is all about the neutrality of things when seen in isolation. So no particular person, experience, emotion, or action is evaluated as good or bad until you look at it in comparison with something else. For example, you may think you're poor, but perhaps that's because you have 3 wealthy uncles. So it's, that contrast, I guess. Then there's the law of polarity. When thinking about the law of polarity, the most important thing to remember is that absolutely everything has an opposite. And it's the very opposite of these, the existence of the opposites, that allows us to understand life. It's almost like a contrast, if you may. Then there's the law of rhythm, sometimes called the law of perpetual motion. This law focuses on movement, and it refers to the cyclical cycles of everything. You see it in nature, and you see it the way the body ages. And the last law is the law of gender. And the funny thing is, the law of gender has very little to do with biological sex. Rather, it refers to the fact that there are 2 major types of energy. You can think of them as masculine and feminine, as yin and yang, or as anima and animus. So that's just a little tip. So I'm going to leave the link where you can get my free ebook telling you all about the 12 laws, secret laws of the universe, and just give it a read if you have some time. Be open-minded, and who knows, maybe as you read, you see the actual working of these laws in your life. They're simple, and hello, Bo. Thank you for stopping in. Yes, the laws are simple, and sometimes once you've gone through the book and you see what the laws are saying, then it may just jog your memory. I'm like, oh my God, now I get it. You never know. So that's it for today, folks. Remember, as Les Brown says, life has no limitations except the ones you make. So stop beating yourself up and just go for gold. You will make mistakes, but hey, as long as there's a new day, that's another chance to make a new effort. Have a wonderful evening. I'm about to have a cup of tea and sign off. And thank you so much for being here. Bye.